what did we discuss in our last class? CloudWatch. So as we learn, CloudWatch is all about three things. What are those? Alarms, events, and logs. So do you remember what are these alarms? How do we configure? Like what is the logic behind it, right? And then we discuss about the events, event bridge, and then we discuss about logs. Remember? And we discuss about the schedules using Lambda to start machines and all, right? So whatever we have discussed, let's go and do the practicals on it. Okay? Yeah. So let me share my screen. Online, can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. So in order to start with this, creating alarms and all, first of all, we need to have EC2 instance or not? Right? Because we have completed EC2. For that reason, we are working alarms on the EC2. Can you create alarms for any other service also? Yes. So whenever you are interested, when we go to S3 or some other services, there also you can create alarms, or in RDS, anywhere you can create the alarms. So for now, let's go with the EC2. So yesterday we have completed EC2. Again, we are going back to EC2, right? So it is EC2 is not leaving us. So let's go and quickly launch the instance. So call it as maybe server 1, browse more AMIs, retire, and then now you guys are experts on EC2? Yeah. T2 micro, and then go with 9 in batch, edit it, and go with 1A, select existing group, default, that's it, and go and launch. So what I do, I launch 2. I launch 2 instances. Here doesn't matter about the availability zones, correct? Because we are just monitoring it. So go here, but I call this as server 2. And then launching the instances. Okay. So once you launch the EC2 instance, okay, now it is, the status check is initializing, right? And then if you come here, you see here, alarms. So I told you, no, on this, when we go to CloudWatch, we'll try to discuss on the alarms. Did I said that? So now we are on to that point. So here, you need to create alarms for every EC2 instance. So if you want to monitor, every EC2 instance need to get monitored, yes or no? So for everything, you have a alarms you can need to create. Let's say, for example, we have 2 machines now, and we need to monitor this. What we need to do, we need to create a alarm. So in your real time, you will have a requirement, correct? You will have a requirement. Let's assume that our requirement here is, when you, now you have 2 EC2 instances. Now, do we have any load on these machines now? In real time? Yes, there will be a load. But what is the scenario that we need to talk about here? Load or no load? No load. Okay, now example, obviously I don't have load. If there is no load, what I need to do? Stop, no? Should I take that scenario? Real-time scenario, right? So if the EC2 instance CPU utilization is less than 10% or 5%, if CPU utilization is less than 10% or 5%, what I need to? I need to stop the machine. So in order to do this, what we need to create? We need to create alarms. Understood? So not only like this, alarms, I told you alarms can do some actions. What are those? It can stop, reboot, terminate, recover. It will create, it will do it. But is it mandated that I need to stop the machines? No. I can also say that here, if the CPU utilization is less than 10%, just notify me, enough. No need to stop. It is purely depend upon your requirement. Okay, now let's consider the requirement. If the CPU utilization is less than 10%, let's go and stop the machine. So if you want to do this, what we need to create? alarms you need to create. Should we go and create an alarm? How to create an alarm? Do you see here? You have plus symbol, no? You can click on the plus symbol. If you click on viewer, do we have any alarms here? No, there are no alarms. Instance has no alarms associated here. So what we need to do is click on create alarm. Okay, so here also we have status and alarms. This alarm is for your status check. Can you create alarm for your status checks? Status check meaning what here? 2/2 checks passed, no, guys. So 2/2 checks are passed. 99.99% 2/2 checks will be passed. Just in case if you get 1/2, automatically you will get a notification if you create a alarm here. But let's go and create an alarm here for now. So let's click on, so I'm creating alarm for which server? Server 1. Let's click on plus. Okay. Now you are creating the alarm for the server 1. So you want to create an alarm or edit an alarm? Create an alarm. So do you have any alarms to search? No. So if you select edit alarm, then you need to select the it. So next, alarm notification. Obviously, when the alarm has 3 states. What are those? In alarm, okay, insufficient. Right? Three are there. So if the alarm status is in alarm, we should get notified or not? So for that, you have alarm notification. Remember, we created a topic in SNS. So select the topic. Whoever is subscribed to the topic, everyone will receive the alarms. Remember, where did we create the topic? Auto scaling. Remember in auto scaling? So in auto scaling, we created a topic. So whoever want to get notified, so subscribe to the topic and you'll receive the notifications. So, okay. Now here, alarm actions. I told you alarms can also do some actions. What actions? What do you want to do now? Stop, no? So that is optional or mandatory? Optional. So I'm here, our requirement is stop. So I need to on, off, on. Then which one you need to select here? Stop. So I told you it can stop, it can terminate, it can reboot, and it can recover. Is it possible to start? No. So here, which one we need to select now? Stop. Getting it? And now let's configure the conditions here. Alarm threshold values. So what is our requirement? If the CPU utilization is less than 10%. So is it minimum or maximum? Minimum. So here, which one you need to select? Minimum. Which metric? CPU utilization. So here we have disk, but I told you what are the host level metrics? CPU, network, disk, status check. What are the host level metrics? Okay. So if you take it here, you get CPU, disk, network, status check. Only these metrics are available. Remember, we discussed this or not? So only these metrics. So which one I need to select here? CPU utilization. Okay. Now CPU utilization is less than or greater than? Less than meaning which symbol here? Mathematics. Less than equal to. Which one will select? Less than or equal to, we will select it. So select less than or equal to here. Okay. And how much percentage? 10%. So how much percentage? 10%. And then period of 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, how many times? If you get one time also, in 5 minutes, if you get one time also CPU less than 10%, alarm will execute. So if you can you increase it? You can increase it based on requirement. Alarm name. So alarm name, I call it as low CPU utilization. What we are doing, we are stopping. Give us some alarm. That's it. You understood how to create an alarm? Online, Anna. Do you understood? Can you mention however you want? How many times in 5 minutes, if you get it, then alarm can execute it. So simple. So what I did, create an alarm. select the notification, alarm actions, stop. Minimum CPU utilization is less than or equal to 10% in one consecutive period of 5 minutes. Just give the name and then simply go ahead and create a alarm. So alarm got created. First one, no? So what is the status now? Insufficient. Why it is insufficient? Huh? Why it is insufficient? Yes, just now we created alarm. Now, what is the type of monitoring by default you get? Basic monitoring, no? So basic monitoring meaning how many minutes? 5 minutes. So you need to wait for 5 minutes to retrieve the data from the machine, no? So for that, now it is a insufficient. After some time, few minutes, if I refresh, oh, do you see that? So machine already got a CPU utilization point. I have given one time now. In 5 minutes, if you get less than CPU 10%, one time also stop, I said. So it has got a point. How do you check, Nana, here? In monitoring. Do you see this here? CPU utilization, enlarge. Do you see CPU utilization here? Initially, it was how much percent? 12% and went down here to 0.2%. So it is less than 10% or not? So if you get only for one time also this less than 10%, alarm will execute. So what has happened? Alarm has stopped the machine. If you don't use alarm actions, you will just get a notification. That's it. You understood? So in real time, you have to be very intelligent when to choose what. Based on the requirement. If the customer says that, Babu, with the CPU utilization less than 10%, I don't want those machines to be running, just stop all of them. So will you do it manually? No. What you need to do is you need to create a alarms for all the machines. So this is the CPU utilization. You can see 5 minutes, 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, however, how much ever you want. And then here you see average minimum values here. Every 1 hour you can check. Do you see this here? 3 o'clock, 3:05, 3:10, 3:15. What type of monitoring? Basic monitoring. And you can see every 3 hours also. You can see every 12 hours also, every 1 day. Let's example in real time. You have this EC2 instance for 1 month. And your manager asked, hey, can you get the CPU utilization for this machine for 1 month? Will you go and check every 5 minutes? What do you do here? Every 1 day, no? So every 1 day maximum, or if you want minimum CPU utilization, maximum CPU utilization, select it. And every 1 day, if you select it, 1 day, what is the average? Or you can see average also here. You can see the average CPU utilization of every 1 day. So by seeing like this, you can easily understand how machine is working. Let's say you have this EC2 instance and you have been using for 1 month and many people started complaining that machine is slow. What is the first thing that you will come and check? CPU utilization. So when you open the CPU utilization, you will check, no, what is the CPU utilization? If it is for 1 month, can you check every day? And every day the CPU utilization is more than 90%. That meaning does it that the CPU what it has is sufficient? No, it is overloaded. So what you need to do the scale up you need to do. Understood how to manage the machines? Scale up you need to do. And let's say, for example, and this ulta also happen many times in your companies. Those who don't know the good knowledge on AWS, what they launch EC2 instance just like that, selecting different instance types. Inky pinky ponky type. They select different machines and some machines are not being used at all. And they are T2 X large. Unnecessary bill, no? Right? So if you want to do the cost optimization, go and check the CPU utilization of the machines. If the CPU utilization is less than 1% or 5% for that big machines for 1 day, for 1 month, that machine is being used, either scale down or stop the machines or terminate the machines if there is no data. You're getting in how to do the cost optimization. Cost optimization is also a very important topic. You cannot chumma go ahead and then do whatever you want on AWS. So as AWS engineers, technical engineers, what you need to do is you need to be very careful on what you are doing it. Okay. So there's a question here. Yes, in real time, do architects have access to perform all these actions? Oh, good question. Yesterday, your question. So yesterday, one of our sister here asked, sir, in real time, do we get permissions for all the services to work? As I said, if we have marks, I mean, somewhere, right? So if you are very lucky, you will get the option. If you are very lucky, you will get opportunity to work on multiple services. But in real time, I don't think so. You'll get multiple services access because each and every service has different teams. You might be working only on EC2 to stop and start. You might be working on only S3 to create buckets. You might be working only on RDS to create databases. If you are very lucky, they will give option to create load balancer in EC2 and EC2 instances to launch. And if you are very lucky, they will give opportunity to create S3 bucket to manage only your bucket, not everyone's bucket. Understood? So if you have joined the startups, there you will get opportunity. If you join big companies, you don't get an access. So I should congratulate you now that you are learning in depth on most of the services, core services, with having of 4 years of experience. How much? So I'm teaching, so you are getting the knowledge is equal to how many years of experience? 4 years of experience. So imagine you join some company and you get option to only stop and start the machines. So, and you have access only to monitor the machines, only see CPU utilizations. Imagine. So once you get an experience, no, see, it's not good, no. You're watching IPL. Directly, these folks will come and directly pay IPL. Directly will access to everything. They'll play under 16, under 18, under 19, right? And then they play state level, right? And everything they need to finish it up and then come to that level, correct? Here also, once you get an experience, then only you will get an opportunity on working on the multiple services. Let's say once you reach the team lead level, I mean, you will be the owner of the all services. Okay. You are responsible to architect everything. Okay. Anyways. So understood, Anna, who are asking this question? Sharada. So Prasad is also, Prasad, the one this guy came here, no? Who? He was here. So he is also a real-time guy who's working on AWS already. Another Prasad was there. See, yes, sir. So he's already working. So he will get option only to monitor. And okay, Sharada is also putting here, sir, I'm the lead, but AWS is in cloud security hands. See, she's already in AWS. She's already a team lead, but she's not working on AWS because AWS entire management is from the security hands. But as now, once she has learned from me, what she can do is now, she can complete the certification, solution architect, and show to the security team, hey, Babu, security team, I am more technical than you, so I will be also handling AWS from now on. So by seeing that certificate, Sharada, you will get an opportunity to work on the AWS. Understood? Okay. నేను చెప్తే దరిద్రంగా ఉంటుంది. Okay. So Rahman is asking, is shell scripting also we have to write manually while launching EC2 or directly it will mention to use this shell scripting for requirement? Customer will come and say, Babu, this is the shell script, put it in your user data and then launch. No, definitely no. So it is purely that you need to write. So customer will say that I want the website application. That's it. For that, whatever is required and necessary for the things, you need to develop and put it in the user data. So customer will not give like a piece of cake. Babu, take it, eat it. No. If he's that much technical, why he will come to you? Huh? He will also learn AWS from Riyaz sir and then set up his own company. No. Uh, okay. Good. Mm. Definitely. Yeah, Tirupati. Yeah, so yes, if there is a chance, definitely, right? So, but the thing is, not only my this batch, there are multiple batches, right? So everyone asks this question. But if there is a requirement, I'll be posting that in your Facebook group. Then you can attend. So it is. Let's start a company, huh? Our own company. Yeah. This is recording, okay, Sharada. Naresh Shetty can see this, huh? You guys, Riya sir is setting your company, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's not divert. So we have a lot of things to do today. Okay. So is it clear, Nana? How to do you see this? Now EC2 instance is stop. And here it says in alarm. Actually, few months back, in which color is this? Huh? Orange, huh? Oh, thank God. So I thought it is orange only for me. So I need to check my specs again, glasses. Okay, so in previous few months back, this is will be in red color. Now they have changed the colors. Okay, maybe the UI design is lady, maybe. Right? So UI, UX design, user experience, user interface designer. Okay, anyways, so that is how to create an alarms from here. Nana, similarly, can you create alarm also for your status check? Simple. So if you click on create alarm here, same concept, alarm notification. If at all, if the status check is 1/2 or something, do you see this here? Type of what is the metric that I have selected here? Status check failed. Either instance status check or either system status check. There are two instance system. So either of the one thing failed, you will get the notification, or if you go and stop the machine also if required, or terminate the machines. So, or you can select even system. Yeah. And then do you see the status check failed for attached DBS? So whichever you want, you have a requirement, you can go and create it. Okay. So this is how you create an alarm from the EC2 console. But we need to go to which console now? CloudWatch console. So let's go to CloudWatch and create alarm also from the CloudWatch section. So this is the easiest way to create alarm for the EC2 instances. But let's go to the CloudWatch and see the alarms there. So CloudWatch. Okay. So this is the CloudWatch dashboard. What's that, Nana? CloudWatch dashboard. And do you see this alarm by AWS service? So as I said, alarms is only for EC2. Huh? No, alarms is for all AWS services. At the moment, we have alarm only for the EC2. And then it says insufficient data. It's in which color? Gray color. Actually, if I come back, if I could have come back here in a couple of minutes back, this will be in which color? Red color. Because it was in alarm. Now, why it is insufficient now? Because the EC2 instance got stopped. Once it is stopped, does the alarm will get the data? No, that's why it is went to the insufficient data. Otherwise, it will be in alarm. So I told you in 3 states: in alarm, insufficient, okay. Okay, now. So this is the one alarm which have low CPU utilization stopped. We have this alarm. Okay, on the left side, do you see this here? Alarms. In alarm meaning which is in alarm. All alarm meaning all alarms. So now I have only one alarm created, which is in insufficient. Should I go and create one alarm from here? I'll show you how to create alarm from the CloudWatch also. Okay, click on create alarm. So we need to select the metrics or not? Which metric we need to select? CPU utilization. Select metric. Nana, what are these called? Namespace. Very good. Which one? What is that? Namespace. So which namespace I need to go for here? Very good. EC2 is the namespace. Inside this, how many are there here? 255 metrics are there. So let's go to EC2. Inside this EC2, auto scaling group of per instance metrics are. Per instance metrics. Okay. Here, a lot of things are there. So we need to search our instance ID or not. So if you go here, you have instance ID. Which one we need to take? Server 2. Server 1 is already stopped, no? So I get the instance ID and I search for it. Server 2 is there. And then you have so many metrics. Which metric I'm interested here? CPU utilization. Can I select multiple metrics also? Select multiple safety and create what alarm? Alarms are two types. Normal alarm and what is another alarm? When I say like this, then composite alarm. What is that? Composite alarm. So composite alarm is a combination of multiple metrics and multiple alarm statuses. So now I'm going for only CPU utilization. Click on select metrics. So I have selected the metric. What is the CPU utilization here? What is the metric name? CPU utilization. Instance ID is this. And statistics. Okay, now let's take a requirement. If the CPU utilization is less than 10%, previously we have stopped the machine. Now what we do, we will terminate it. Should we terminate and see? Okay, so I need to select average, minimum, maximum. Minimum only. So minimum, and then which is a condition here? Greater than equal, lower than equal to. Lower equal to how much percentage? 10%. Right? So additional convection, don't worry. This is if you are not getting the data points, so it will treating as the data is missing, obviously. So is it clear? Now I'm clicking on next. Okay, if the CPU utilization is less than 10%, what is the trigger? In alarm, okay, insufficient. In alarm. So select an existing topic. This topic. So action. Lambda action, auto scaling action, EC2 action. Right? So here also you can do multiple things. Let's say, for example, okay, I'm trying to formulate one requirement now. Trying to get one requirement. Let's say now CPU utilization is less than 10%. What alarm will do? Alarm will stop, for example, stop or terminate. Okay, na? But I want to start it immediately after 10 minutes. Understood? No. So now we need to use Lambda actions. So whichever, if you want to do some customization, then go for the Lambda actions. Or if the CPU utilization is less than 10%, which is not used, and I have application in it, can I attach to auto scaling group? Attach it? No. Go to the auto scaling actions. So like this, based on a requirement, you can select the actions. So now which is the action that I need to select here? EC2 actions. Now you tell me which one I need to select? Terminate the instance. Can you add multiple actions also here? Yes. If I add actions. Okay, understood now? So don't worry about the systems manager. So it is to talk about this, I need to talk about, first of all, ITIL. Have you heard of it? Real-time online people. Experience, guys. ITIL. Incident management, change management, right? And then incident management, change management. There are so many capacity management, right? Release management. Online. Okay. So let's say, for example, to make you understand everyone, let's say CPU utilization is less than 10%. And what are we doing here? Terminating it. What are we doing? terminate. That should get recorded somewhere, no? Huh? Yes or no? That should get recorded, no? Generally, where it get recorded? Cloud Trail, their cloud. But do I have time to go to CloudTrail and check thousands of events? No. So if you go for the system manager actions, it will create an incident ticket. It will create a ticket with entire information. It will create a ticket saying that, Babu, this EC2 instance ID, CPU utilization is less than 10% and it got terminated. A ticket, it will create a ticket and then it will store it in the in the system manager actions. So this action will create an incident or ops item in system manager when the alarm is in alarm state. So whenever this alarm got executed, this will create a ticket in systems manager. Systems manager is a separate service again in AWS. Remember, we have discussed about certifications. What are the 3 certifications we have? Solution architect, SysOps, developer. System manager is mostly used by the SysOps people because it is related to your systems. Okay. Anyways, you understood, Nana? So now I'm going to the EC2 actions and click on next. And alarm name, I call it as low CPU. What I'm doing now? Terminate. And next. And then create alarm. So after some time, what will happen now? The EC2 instance will be terminated. Is it clear online? How to create alarms here? So can you create composite alarms also if required? Yes, you can create composite alarms also. Same options. So these are all filters. Normal alarms or composite, metric alarm, composite alarms. Yeah. So I go to EC2. So it is not still executed. After some time, after 5 minutes, this will get terminated. Clear now on alarms, how to create it? Is there anything here in alarms? Nothing. So in alarms, you can hide auto scaling alarms because auto scaling alarms also, so many alarms will come. No, whenever it will, remember auto scaling alarms. When you are configuring auto scaling, you have given notifications and then alarms, no? Whenever it will launch EC2 instance, whenever it fail EC2 instance, whenever. So how many alarms you will get? So many alarms. So you will get frustrated with those alarms. For that reason, they have given hide auto scaling alarms. Do you see this? In alarm. So if I go and refresh this, what will happen? Shutting down and then terminated. Huh? Mail, I didn't confirm the subscription. Huh? Did you have you not given? In auto scaling, you have not given notification? Huh? No, it's so fine. So you have given the email ID, but you might have not subscribed. But if you subscribe, what will happen? Automatically receive a notification. You can do it, no problem. Subscribe it. You don't get any. It's very, 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 very negligible. Guys, I told you, if you want to see the pricing, what you do? Google it. How? AWS, which one? SNS pricing. See? No. SNS is push-based system, pull-based system. SNS. Pusha, pulla. Notification will be sent out or in. Not for you, from SNS point of view. Push. So this is push-based system. SNS is what based system? Please write down your book. This is a certification question. So SNS is a push-based system. Okay. Okay, see here. Guys, publish batch API requests are 0.30 per 1 million. For 1 million notifications that you will get how much? $0.3, not even half a cent. So now assume, do you get a bill? Don't. Okay. So, but some intelligent people are there. What they do is, can you send SMS also? Yes, you can send a SMS. So what people will do is, they will create a topic and they will subscribe using the phone number. And they will start sending the messages to the number. Others' numbers. Okay. So don't do like all these things, sir. Unnecessary. You have given the idea, sir. We don't have that idea. Okay. Next question here. Sir, a question on pricing. I'm getting charged every time I launch ALB. It is minimal, but I am wondering, is that because of region or something? No, you should not get charged if it is under free tier. If your account is more than 1 year, then it will be charged. Does it that you got charged with for ALB? No. Sharada. It's free tier only, yeah? Then I don't think so. ALB will be charged. Okay, ma. Okay, everyone clear on the alarms? So what is the next thing we have? Events. Logs will come. Metrics we have seen, no? All the metrics will come here. Don't worry about this X-rays and all. X-ray is basically generally excuse me. Okay. So what is generally X-ray? There was a good definition somewhere I saw to make you. Yes. See, as the name says, X-ray, it will show which is not visible, right? So X-ray help. This is basically for developers, not for us. Huh? X-ray help developers analyze and debug distributed applications such as those built using a microservices architecture. See, with X-ray, you can understand how your application and its underlying services are performing and identify and troubleshoot the root cause of the performance issue and errors. This is for developers. So this will show you how your request is going from one place to another place in your Chitty developers. You have debugging option, no? Whenever you press on F5 or debugging option, so your request will go to the each and every line of the code, and you will see the data out of it. Yes or no? Developers online. So similarly, if you want to see the traces like that, you can use the X-ray for your microservices architecture. So, okay. So is it useful for us now at the moment? No. So you can ignore that X-ray here. So now let's go to here. What's events? So in events, if you click on rules here, this events now we call it as what? It will go to which service? Event bridge. Do you see this here? Event bridge. Remember we discussed about this bus. So we have a default bus or not? Yes, we have a default bus. Okay, now. So now alarm section is done. Let's go to events. Now come back to events concept. So I'll take the same example that I have given in the theory. Let's say, for example, I have EC2 instance. If someone stopped that EC2 instance, I should receive a notification. Is that possible through alarms? Tell me how. I'm asking the question. Is it possible through alarms? I asked. And then you said yes. So through alarms, it's not possible. For these kind of things, you need to create a rule, event rule, wherein in event bridge. So here, do you see this rules are there? No, create rule. What is that? Create rule. Rule name. So what we do, we are creating a rule. Let's say you have a EC2 instance. If someone stopped the EC2 instance, I should receive a notification. Say that if someone stop the EC2 instance, we should receive a notification. If someone is stopping, stopping meaning here, let's say stopping rule. Example. Bus is default bus. So will you go with rule with event pattern or scheduler? Rules with event pattern. Schedule is for a particular time. But do we know that EC2 instance will be stopped at that particular time? We don't know. For that reason, you need to go with the rule with the event pattern. So is it clear on the first step? First step, give the name and then select the thing, click on next. Okay. Listen carefully here. Event source. Which service our event source? Which is the source? EC2, no? Which is the source? EC2. That EC2 is a AWS service or AWS events or not? Yes, select the AWS event. This is sample event optional. Ignore this. Event pattern. Which service? AWS service. Service name. Which service here? Very good. Which service? EC2. As I said, event bridge can store all services events. Inside this, I'm taking which service? EC2 service. So is it possible to take all the service and show you example? No. So for that reason, which is mostly commonly used, EC2, I'm selecting it. Okay. In EC2, which type is for our requirement? Please read it and tell me that. Which category? For our requirement, which option? I need to say. EC2 instance, state change notification. Yes or no? So you have option called all events also. Any events also you can select it. Or you can go with snapshots, volumes, FS fast launch, and then instance state, spot instant interruption warnings, everything, whichever is your requirement, you can find it out. Which is our requirement now? Instant change notification. Now, which state you are interested? Any state or specific state? Specific state. Which state? Which state? Stopping, stop. Yes or no? Because our requirement is if someone is stopping the machine. Which instance? Any instance or specific instance? If you select any instance, what will happen? If you have 100 machines, anyone pusuk stopped, you will receive a notification. But I want it for a specific instance. Instance ID, I'm giving an example. I'm taking an example here, putting it. Can you add multiple instances here? You asked no. And someone asked, how many we can add? I don't know. I will keep on adding it here. See, I can keep on. Is it possible for me to count? No. So don't worry. You have multiple things here. Clear? How to create a rule? Create, guys, everyone. So AWS events. And here you need to go with the AWS service, EC2, select it, which state, which instance, and click on next. And then what is the target here? What is the target? SNS. What is the target here? SNS. What is our requirement here? If someone stop, receive the notification. Notification is the target for us. So which one we need to select here? AWS service. Which service? SNS. SNS topic. Which topic? Can you add multiple targets if required? Click on next and then next. And then what you need to do? Create rule. Understood how to create a rule? If someone pusuk stop this EC2 instance, it's already in stop date, terminated. But if someone stop the EC2 instance, automatically you receive a notification. Remember, you might have stopped the EC2 instance and don't tell me tomorrow, sir, I didn't receive a notification. Because why? You didn't subscribe. If you subscribe, you will get a notification. Online, is this clear, Nana? How to create a rule? Like this, can you create a rule for if someone is launching the EC2 instance? Which is the state that you need to use? Pending, running. You need to select pending, running. Understood? So can you create events for any kind of EC2 events? Anything. So targets can be only SNSs. It can be any service. It can be any service. Based on the requirement, you need to go for it. Super. Okay. Now, let me give you another example in Event Bridge. Let us take that. At 9 o'clock, all our EC2 instance should be stopped. At 9 o'clock in the morning, it should start. Should we do that? That real-time thing? Okay, online, ready? For that, first of all, what I need to have? I need to launch EC2 instance, no? To make it running. So how many I launch? 2 machines. So launch instance. Every EC2 instance has 1 alarm. So here, name is not mandatory. So call it as, okay, server 3. Browse. Sir, in this case, do we receive notification or the machine should be running state while creating the event? No. No. Of course. Neelima, she's asking, what she's asking is, sir, do we receive, in this case, do we receive the notification or the machine? Because our EC2 instance, I have selected instance ID, which is in terminated state. But in real time, will you use that instance ID? You will use the instance ID which is running. Obviously, no. That's a very normal, common thing. So you will take EC2 instance ID which is running. If someone stopped, then you'll receive a notification. If it is already in stopped state, will you receive a notification? No, you don't. Sir, use launch mode. Yeah, that is in stop state. Ravi, sir, if we have multiple targets, how to select specific target based on condition? If you have multiple targets, how to select specific target based on the condition? I didn't understand the question, but Ravi Kumar, so we have the condition. First, we have created the events, and then the target. We have target 1, target 2. We can. So target 1 can be SNS. Target 2. Meanwhile, you can go with this Lambda also. Target 3, 4 also. Can you? You can go for it like this. Yeah, you can go for it. Now it's purely depend upon the requirement, Ravi. You need to analyze, just assume one requirement, and then start thinking it. Okay, so here T2 micro and then 9 AM batch, edit it. I go with 1A, existing group, default, and then go in. How many? I'll go and launch 2. Okay, so this is server. Manually. Change. So do you see server 1 is stopped? No. If I start, what will happen again? Again, it will stop because alarm will execute. Right? Alarm, you need to delete. Okay, Nana. So meanwhile, what I do is for you, do you remember the requirement? What is our requirement? Tell me. Online, tell me the requirement. Tell me the requirement. Stop EC. I have 2 EC2 instances running. I want this EC2 instance to be stopped at night, 9 p.m. And morning at 9 o'clock, I want to start. So here I have 2 machines. In real time, I might be having 200 machines also. Yes or no? Will you go and do stop and start manually? What you need to do? Lambda function need to. So should we implement it? So before you're implementing something, first you need to draw. I told you, no, if you sketch it, the architecture, you can easily understand how to implement it. So let's say, tell me what are the things that we need to have for this requirement. First of all, we need to have EC2 instances. Yes or no? How many are there here? 2 EC2 instances. After that, what we need to create? So in events, we need to create a event schedule. Yes or no? Sir, if stop protection is enabled, will alarm override it to stop or fail? Good question. I want you to check it. I don't think so, it will override. Rajesh is asking, I didn't try that, but can you try it out? You know, understood what is the question? So if the EC2 instance has termination protection on or a stop protection on, so alarm can go and stop it or not. Can I do it? Yeah, do it and tell me. I'll remember. Nana, how many years of experience I have? 17 plus 18 years. Do I play with all these things? So if I enable that, can I eliminate this or not? Alarm. So, because I'll be doing on overview, but for you, I'm going little bit even more spoon feeding and doing it. So the few things I suggest you do it by yourself, because can you do it or not? Yes, you can do it. So here we have event schedule. And what are things that we need to create and we need to do? You need to have a Lambda function. What function we need to write? Okay. Listen this carefully, online people. Of course, offline. Now, question for you here is, I don't give the hint, you should answer it. Anyways, we'll create the event schedule. In event schedule here, we'll put what time? Stop meaning 9 p.m. 9 p.m. stop. We'll create a schedule at 9 p.m. So who will go and stop? Lambda will go and stop. Yes or no? Lambda will go and stop. Lambda will go and stop. But tell me, does the Lambda has permissions to stop the EC2 instance? Does any service has permissions to other service? Then how do you give permissions to Lambda to stop the EC2 instance? Rules are roles are. Fantastic. Right? What is that? Using roles. Understood, Nana? Understood how you are implementing roles now. Right? I'm just asking out of curiosity. Sir, we have discussed about the roles, but you have not used the roles till now. Whenever you launch EC2 instance, did we got any chance to use the roles? No. But do you understood here? When the roles come in action, I'll be telling you like this. Okay. So now, what you need to create here? Role. Where? In which service? IAM. So I call it as Lambda. What role? Stop role. Now tell me, for this, what kind of permissions I need to give? For role, with this role. Which service I need to give the permission? Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Is it good to give EC2 full access or limited access? Limited access meaning which policy? Inline policy. Which one policy? Inline policy. So it is not good to give EC2 full permissions, because Lambda will get full permissions to EC2. So you need to give limited permission. Limited permission meaning we need to create an inline policy or not. So I'll be creating inline policy to EC2 stop and start policy. I'll create it. And then this policy, attach it to role. And this role will be attached to Lambda function. Understood? If you do like this, you can easily understand. Otherwise, you don't know. If you go to console, your hands will shake. Which one to click when? First, which one I need to create, which one I need to do, you don't understand. So if you write like this, okay, now even I make it even more better. Now tell me, which one I need to create first? Tell me the numbers. First, what I need to create? Okay, first one is EC2. Second, Rola policy na. Policy na, first we need to create a policy, then only we need to create a role. So second one is policy. Third one is role. Fourth one is Lambda function. Fifth one is event schedule. We'll call Lambda function from the event schedule, correct? You understand now? Today? Understood? Clearer online? Okay. Okay. So, no. Today class will be little bit extended. Fine, no? Because we are in the middle, no? So I cannot stop. So, okay. So let us talk little bit about the Lambda, Nana, here. So based on your certifications. So we need to learn about the Lambda limits. So I already told you about the Lambda in the overview section. So Lambda is server-based or serverless? Serverless. Lambda is serverless. In Lambda, what do we create? Functions. What functions are those? Lambda functions. So Lambda supports multiple languages. Yes. Which is our most favorite language? Python. So we're using the Python. And Lambda is regional or global? Regional, because I didn't say it is global, right? It is regional. And does the Lambda require any servers? No, because it is completely serverless. And Lambda is used for automation purpose. Yes or no? So as a solution architects, we will be also using Lambda, but morely developers will use the Lambda for the development part. But as a solution architects and SysOps people, what they do is for this kind of automation purpose, we'll use a Lambda. If you have manual process, if you want to automate it, Lambda. For that reason, you need to have a knowledge on Python also a little bit. Not mandatory, but as I said, if you want to do automations, then obviously Python. Okay. So let me write few things for you. Please write down in your, or if you want to take screenshot also, fine. So yeah. So you have execution. In execution, memory allocation, by default it is 128 MB and 10 GB maximum. Maximum execution time 900 seconds, that meaning 15 minutes. I'm talking about Lambda limitations. Okay, please read it when I'm writing it. Okay, environment variables, how much 4 KB size, and then disk capacity in function container /temp. You will get 512 MB to 10 GB. What is temporary storage called generally? Temporary volumes. Another name of ISV. Ephemeral. Okay. So under the deployment, so Lambda function size is, read it, guys. It will be easy for me to explain. Read it. Okay, so here I have given some Lambda limits. So you need to understand the Lambda limits as a part of certification questions. So you have execution and deployment. What is that? Deployment meaning creating Lambda function. Deployment meaning creating a Lambda function. Once you create a Lambda function, what we need to? We need to execute that function. Either you manually execute or someone trigger the Lambda function. In our case, who is triggering the Lambda function? Event bridge. In our case, event bridge is triggering. Or can you write a Lambda function and you can trigger by yourself manually? Possible. Okay. Okay. Now, as a Lambda is serverless, do you give, generally when you launch a EC2 instance, we'll give instance type, no? CPU plus memory. And we'll allocate the memory, no, there. So here, as we don't have any server, it is serverless. by default memory allocation will be there. So what is the default memory allocation? 128 MB. Say that. Put it in your brain. What is the default Lambda function memory allocation? 128 MB. So can you increase it to how much? 10 GB is the maximum memory allocation. For function, I'm saying you are creating one function. And very importantly, Lambda is the cheapest service. Lambda is a cheapest service. That is why many people, developers, they are going serverless options. What is that? Serverless. Serverless meaning they will set up every entire code in the Lambda only. They'll start to executing it. No server concept. So in Lambda, pricing will be, let's say, you create a Lambda function will be just sitting it. That's it. AWS will not bill for it. When Lambda is dancing, that meaning executing, then only AWS will charge. How much time it has danced, for that time only you need to pay for it. In our case, event bridge is calling the Lambda function stop function. That stop function will execute and stop my two EC2 instances. You would tell me, imagine how many seconds will it take to execute the Lambda function? Huh? 5 seconds, huh? Online? I will say it is milliseconds. So just imagine, Lambda function will take milliseconds to execute it, and your price will be only for that milliseconds for Lambda. Negligible. And how much maximum execution that Lambda function can execute? 15 minutes. Maximum how much time a Lambda function can execute? That is Bhayanak function. 15 minutes execution is happening, meaning that is a Bhayanak code. Right? Maximum it will be in few seconds only. A developer is writing a very good program, then it will be finished in few seconds. But some bad developers will be there where they will be not writing a nice code, unnecessary loops, unnecessarily for loops, unnecessary while loops, wherever is not required, they are putting the loops. But you will get the result. But unnecessary, instead of writing 2 lines of code, they will write 10 lines of code. If you have that kind of worst code, then it will take time. Understood? Huh? So what is the maximum execution time? 900 seconds. That meaning 15 minutes. So you are writing Python code in Lambda function. Either you can just copy paste the entire code, or you can upload as a zip file. Not only Python, you use Java, .NET, or there's so many languages are available. So what they do is, for Python also, for Java also, for .NET also, you have libraries or not? Supporting files will be there. Library should be there. And they'll also create some environment variables. What is the size of environment variables you can have? 4 KB. So you write a code and you can upload that entire code zip file to the Lambda function. How much size? 50 MB here, compressed size. Uncompressed size, it is 250 MB. And then obviously when you're writing the code, it uses some temporary space, no? So what is the temporary space? By default, you get 512 MB. Say that. What is the maximum temporary size you will get? Maximum 10 GB. That /temp is also called as ephemeral storage. Who is giving? AWS is giving to run your code, because it is serverless. Okay. So Nana, you create a Lambda with VPC, or you can create without VPC also. With VPC meaning can access AWS services, right? Like RDS, etc., etc. Without VPC meaning public. Is it clear? Overview on this Lambda, right? Should we go and set up this now? Online chitties, is this clear, Nana, till here, everyone? Super. Now, you see this for a couple of seconds, the diagram, and you tell me, I will start creating it. What is the first step? Launch the EC2. That is done already. 2 EC2 instances are running. What is the next step? Inline policy. Yes or no? Let's go to where? I am. So, okay, this is IAM. What we need to create? We need to create a policy. Do you know how to create a policy? Inline policy. But to make you even more comfortable, there is already one article is there. The policy is written. Python code is already there. What do you do? Real-time people also do the same thing. Not only freshers, experienced people also. Right? So you just take it out, copy it, modify according to your requirement, paste it. Because why you to use your brain? Yeah, already in Google, everything is there. So whatever the based on the requirement, and do I agree? My experienced people online, right? So AWS stop and start instances. EC2 Lambda function is there now. Do you see first link? Read that. I am giving this URL to here. Nana, read it. How do I use Lambda to stop and start EC2 instances at regular intervals? This is our right thing or not? Do you see this here? What do you do? Copy. But you should not be that much blind. Try to understand this. You tell me what is doing. You are experts on IAM. Tell me what is doing. Did you discuss about the logs? So Lambda is serverless, no? So Lambda executed properly or not? My machines are stopped or not? So we need to check the logs, no? As it is serverless, where all the logs will be pushed? CloudWatch logs. Remember, all AWS services, they push the logs to which service? CloudWatch log. Say that. Which service? CloudWatch log. So Lambda need to create a log group. Lambda will create a log stream. And Lambda will put the events. Okay. And then this one. Only which service? EC2 service only start, stop. On which resource? All resources. All resource meaning all EC2 instances. Any EC2 instance, this policy will go and start, stop. Am I giving full access to EC2? No, only start and stop. Understood the policy? And Lambda function is going and putting the logs in our CloudWatch logs. We need to give the permissions for the logs also. So what you do? Copy. Where, baby? Where? Policy. Create. Policy. Visual JSON. We already have code. Go to JSON. And then why it is this much bigger? Delete. Paste. Okay, na? But you understood the policy, no? You cannot be dumb. And then go ahead and then click on next. Policy name. Start and stop. Lambda. Regular intervals. It's okay. So remember this. Start and stop Lambda. Create policy. What is the next step? Policies got created. Create roles. Go to role. Create role. AWS service. Which what is the trusted entity here? Otherwise, it came till here. What is your trusted entity? Lambda. Online. What is a trusted entity? Lambda. Because role you are attaching to Lambda. Okay. Lambda is selected. Next here. What is the policy that you need to select here? Start and stop Lambda. Select this. Next. Role name. Call it as Lambda. Start. Lambda. Stop role. Stop and start. Whatever. And then click on create role. Role got created. What's the next step? Now tell me. You need to create a Lambda function. No, event rule you are creating, Nana. Target. You need to use target. No, where is the target? Lambda. Did you create a Lambda function? No. So what is it now? Now you need to create what? Lambda. So let's go to Lambda, right? Open Lambda. Lambda is regional. In Lambda, you can create only functions. You can only create a functions. And you see, create a function. So it supports .NET, your Java, Node.js, Python, Ruby, and if you have your own language runtime, use it. Which one we will use here? Python. So let's go and click on create function. And by the way, if you have function already, you can paste it and run and look how Lambda is responding it. It is just how you know how it works. But let's go and create a function. What's the function name? Lambda stop function. Runtime. Which is a runtime? Python. Okay? Python. x86 ARM. x86. Permissions. Change default execution role. Lambda will create a role by default, but we already have a role created, no? So expand this. Use existing role. Which role? As the trusted entity is Lambda, that's why it is showing the role here, because we are attaching to the Lambda. Advanced settings, no need. If you have in real time, if you need more, so you can use enable VPC, but I'm creating a without VPCs here. So now click on create function. Everyone understood how to create a function? So give the name, select the runtime, select the role. Create function. Okay, Nana? Guys, do you see? Lambda function this is a function overview. I'll show you a diagram, nothing. If you come down, this is the code. This is the code. But if you go to here, our code is also there, no? Do you see the code here? Take the code. I'm putting it. What code is this? Python code. What code? Python. So it is using Boto3. So Boto3 is your Python library where you can module, where you can import it. And then and tell me region is it good? So we need to change it, no? So that is the logic that you need to use. You cannot blindly copy paste everything. So where is our EC2 instances? Mumbai. So change it to AP minus South minus 1. And then instances. These are the instances IDs. So I need to take our 2 instance IDs and put it here or not? Go to instances. Refresh. Server 3. Instance ID. Put it here. And server 4. Instance ID. Put it here. Guys, okay. Now I'll explain you the Lambda function, Python, little bit Python class. Little bit I'm saying, don't take my entire time. Okay, so you're importing Boto3 module, right? And then region, what is our region? AP minus South minus 1. Nana, this is called, region is a variable. What is that? And every variable has a value. Every variable has a value. So what is our variable here? Region. And what is the region has a value called? AP minus South minus 1. So whenever I print a region, what is the value that I get? AP minus South minus. So what is the value of the region? AP minus South minus 1. So in our entire function, I can use region variable. I can use region variable. So where in our entire function, whenever I mention region is nothing but AP minus South minus 1. Okay, that is called variable. In variable also we have global variable, local variable concept. Let us not talk about it. It is not Python class. Next, instances. Instances is also a variable. But what is this here in the brackets? No, I'm talking about Python. That is called array. Or is that? Array. Array. Right? That is called array. What is array? Collection of items. What is array? Collection of items. So, not like array meaning, sir, we call our friend array, come here. Array, you go there. That is not array. So, array here is a collection of elements. Elements here, instance IDs. Now, here, how many elements are there? 2 elements. Can I have multiple elements here? So, that meaning, can I have multiple instance IDs here? Can I stop so many EC2 instances in one shot? Yes. So you need to keep on writing the instance IDs here. So instances is nothing but these 2 items will be inside the instances. Instance is also a variable. How many values you have in the instances? 2. If you need to have a multiple values in the variable, you need to use array. Single variable, normal variable. Okay. So now region has single value, instance has multiple values. Now you are using EC2. Now Python doesn't know normally what is EC2. So that's why you're including Boto 3, and also you need to download if you have a separate let's say if you have a separate IDE, your execution environments. So you need to download SDKs, software development kits. Remember? Java doesn't know what is EC2. If you download AWS SDK, Java SDK, then Java knows what is EC2. So like this. So we have EC2, Boto client. We are using Boto client. So, and region name. What is our region name here? AP minus South minus 1. Do you see region meaning here? AP minus South minus 1. So now I am writing a function here, event handler. And what is the function that I'm calling here? Stop underscore instances, a inbuilt function from Boto 3. So here, stop instances. Which instances? I'm calling the same array, no, here, same variable. So these instances have multiple values. So EC2.stop instances, instance ID is equal to this item 1 will come here first time. And as we have multiple items, second item also will come here. And these 2 items will be stop. And then it will print that stopped your EC2 instances. Which one? These 2 items will be printed over here. You like Python class? Few minutes of Python. Okay. Anyways, you understood the Python code? So I'm saying, as an architect, guys, you no need to be experts on everything. If you're able to understand this, that is good. You understood the Python code now? So you say, Amma, Python, I don't know. Will you say this? Not really. If you just put your brain easily, you can understand. Online, is it clear, Nana? So copy it and then go to Lambda and delete this code and then paste it. Clear? How to create a Lambda function, guys? So I just click on create and then here I paste it. Deploy meaning save. Deploy meaning save. So I need to click here. I need to click on deploy. So directly I pasted the code, or else you can upload the zip file. Or if you have code in S3 also, you can upload from the S3. How much size you can upload? Zip file. 50 MB. So unzip, uncompressed, 250 MB. Very good. Certification questions. Okay, Nana. So you can create multiple files, functions, multiple Python files if required here on the left side. So you can click on file and then create new file, save, open, everything you can do, edit, all options you have. So I need to click on deploy. Deploy meaning here I am saving the function. Everyone understood how to create a function? See, stop Lambda function is there. Understood, Nana? So I open this here. See here. Okay, code is there. Read it. Code, test, monitor, configuration, alias, version. If you click on code, you see the code. And you can modify the code with this, all the bar here. Right? And then test. Can you test this function is working or not? Yes, you can test it. This is called manual testing. Whether your function is working or not, you can test directly from here. No need to trigger. Lambda meaning you need to invoke the Lambda to work. Yes or no? But if you're understood what is invoke meaning, if someone need to trigger Lambda function, or else you can trigger by yourself. That is called manual thing. And then monitor. Can you monitor Lambda functions? Who is monitoring Lambda functions? Which service is monitoring Lambda functions? CloudWatch. See, CloudWatch metrics. How many invocations happen? What is invocations meaning here? How many times Lambda got executed, right? How many duration, how much duration the Lambda got executed, any error count, any kind of throttles happen, how many concurrent executions. Lambda function can be executed 1,000 times in one shot. Parallelly, how many times you can execute one Lambda function? 1,000 threads can be attached to the Lambdas. That can be increased also. And configuration, Nana. So you have so many options here, but what is the default memory that we get? What is the ephemeral storage that you get? Did we learn all these things? Timeout. What is the default timeout? 3 seconds. What is the Lambda default timeout? 3 seconds. Three seconds. So if you want to edit it, anyways, I wanted to see what is the maximum timeout here, but that's fine. It's not showing here. Okay, Nana. So any kind of configurations, you can Lambdas can be connected to RDS in databases also. You can do a lot of things here. Aliases, and you have versions. So that's fine. So is it clear on the Lambdas, guys? We don't need to go deeper into Lambda, but you understand how to create Lambda and how to manage it, the Lambda function. Okay. So now Lambda function got created. What is the next step? Event bridge, where we need to create an event. Yes or no? So let's go to event bridge and create a rule. So I call it as stop Lambda rule. Now you tell me now, rule with event pattern or scheduler now? Now you need to, you understood when to select what now? So if you want to schedule it, go schedule. If you want to use a normal thing, go for the rule with event pattern. I'm going on schedule. Continue to create a rule. What do you need to press here? Continue to create a rule. Okay. So here, two things are there. A fine-grained schedule, that meaning cron job. Remember cron job? If you want to, I said, if you want to customize the schedule, you need to go for the cron job. But if you go for a schedule that runs regular, such as every 10 minutes, then go for normal thing. Which one? First or second one? We need to go for first one. So in cron job, do you see this? If you want to show you quickly, cron expressions. Do you see this? No? Okay. So here we have in cron job, segments are there. The first box is minutes box. Second is day of month, day of week, year. So here, if I give 0 minutes, 10 hours, that meaning at what time? 10 o'clock. 10 p.m. a.m. a.m. 10 o'clock. Day of month star meaning every day, every month, every day of the week. Or is it only from Monday to Friday? Every day of the week and every year. So this meaning if I put 0, 10, star, question mark, star, that meaning it will run every 10 a.m. Tell me this. Third one. At what time? AM or PM above? PM. 6 p.m. On what days? Understood? What is this? 0/15 meaning 15 minutes. So 0/15 star, everything star, then it will run every 15 minutes. So like this, you can have an examples here. At what time now, what we need to take in now? We need to run at 9 o'clock, at night 9 o'clock. So which one will work for us? First one, it will work? First one will work or not? I'll replace this. Yes or no? 0, 10, 0, 9. 9 meaning at what time? 21. 24 hours. 0, 21, star, question mark, star. Tell me here. 0, 21, star, question mark, star. Do you see this? Now we got the next 10 triggers. If you get the triggers here, that meaning your cron expression is good. If you say something, if you put like this, it will not work. So it has to be like this. Understood how to represent the cron expression? If you want to learn more, you just go to cron expression and then you try to read this page. You'll get to know more. Now, is this clear? Now click on next. Which service? Which is the target now? Which service? Lambda. Lambda function. Which function? That's it. And go ahead and then next, and then next, and then create. Guys, understood? Now you tell me at what time will now my EC2 instance will be stopped? 9 p.m. Do we wait for 9 p.m. today? No. What you can do is, instead of giving that 21, you give our UTC time, near UTC time. What is our UTC time? 5:12, no? Give it as 5:30 there. That meaning 35. In the cron expression, first box is minutes box, no? There 30, next is hours box, put 5. So wait for it, automatically your EC2 instance will be stopped. So now I don't want to wait until 9 o'clock. I want to go and execute. Can I execute it directly? Can I execute directly? Yes. Guys, previously this event bridge was not there here. Who is triggering Lambda function? Event bridge. That is the trigger. So can you add destination also? Like SNS? Event bridge will trigger Lambda function. EC2 instance will be stopped and you will get a notification. You getting it? Okay, now I go to code. Guys, my EC2 instances are running or not? My two EC2 instances are running. Either wait at 9 o'clock or wait whatever the time that you have given, or can I run this function directly? Can I test it? If I test it, what will happen? EC2 instance will be stopped. If this is stopped, my trigger will also be a worker later or not? Yes. So I'm going and clicking on test and give some name called test, save, and then I click on test. Guys, see, Lambda function got executed and these are the function logs. Now, where are these logs are getting stored now? CloudWatch logs, right? Should I go to CloudWatch logs and check it? Open CloudWatch. Where are do you see logs? Log, groups. Do you see this here? Do you see this here? Lambda stop function. If you open it, do you see log stream folder? If you go for it, and these are the logs. And see how much duration it has used. 952 milliseconds. And build duration is also this much only. And what is the status that we are stopped during? These two instances are now stopped. Should I go and check it? If I refresh, boom. Understood? Who has stopped the machines? Lambda. I have manually triggered it, but at 9 o'clock, automatically even scheduler will go and trigger Lambda. Lambda will stop at 9 o'clock. Similarly, can you do it for the start? Yes or no? Policy is same. You need to create a Lambda start function. And you need to create in event rule, you need to create one more rule and then attach a start rule, start function. In Lambda function, you need to create two functions, no? Stop function, start function. Same copy paste it, but here, if you see here, start function is, instead of stop here, you need to put a start. That's it. And this Lambda function will execute. This EC2 instance will be started again. Understood? In depth of Lambda, how it works technically. Today is a little bit more technical, but you understood na concept? Online, is this clear, Nana? Everyone? Super. Everyone, super. Excellent. Will you able to do these practicals? Actually, I could have covered logs also, but I'll cover tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday. Eh? Wait. Tomorrow. Huh? What the? Huh? So should I give a break or not? I'm thinking. Actually, tomorrow we have, yeah, 11th is holiday too. 11th is holiday too, meaning, so don't take the holiday. Okay, let's do one thing. Why 9th and 11th? What happened? Oh, Abu, then you will be remaining in the May also, huh? Ugadi and Ramzan. Yeah, 11th is Ramadan. And this Saturday also I'll not be available. Huh? Super, huh? You're getting. So I think as we have next many holidays, let's take class tomorrow. Hmm? Because I don't like to. So next, I don't know Ugadi, Naresh Shetty will give holiday or not. I don't know. It's not confirmed. But 11th, definitely I am putting a break, holiday, because the festival. And then Saturday I'm traveling. So I'll be traveling here. So tomorrow we'll have class now, no problem. So tomorrow we'll take it light, no problem. Don't worry. Tomorrow we'll cover the locks. Very easy. Locks we'll cover and then tomorrow we'll see. So tomorrow we have class. Yes or no? Tomorrow we have a class. So any questions? Take the screenshot. So please keep an eye on in the Telegram and your Google Classroom. Just in case, I'll put the messages there. Okay? Any kind of announcement, any kind of classes related thing. So I'll put in there. Beforehand, before 1 hour, I'll put it if something is changed. Okay? So good, Nana. So please do the practicals. And what is the thing that we need to do here? Clean up. Clean up is very, very important. Terminate it. And see, slowly, one by one, you need to do all the things. Role, you don't need to do anything. What role? You don't need to delete, but I'm just cleaning up because you know what happened? If you give space, delete will not work. Some students, sir, I'm not able to delete anything, they'll say. Sir, I'm putting everything fine. So what you need to know, you should not put space, remove space, then delete option will come. Okay. Policies also, I need to. So, And then Lambda function also we need to delete. So you guys can do Lambda start also, right? Yes. And log groups, you need to delete all these things. Otherwise, log groups will be charged. Alarms, you need to delete it. Actions, delete it. Is there anything? Rules, no? Select all the rule. Don't worry about this cloud formation template. When time comes, we'll talk. That is not in our, we'll see. Okay. Where is it? First delete it. Okay. Is there anything pending for me? Rules, everything are done. Okay. Sure, Nana. So can I give a final CC for today, please? CC with smile. Anyways, people left already little. So today is a little bit more technical, but it's everything is clear for you. So just go ahead and do the practicals. I'll put the task in the Google Classroom. And tomorrow, whatever the leftover topics like logs, we'll cover tomorrow with some additional things. Okay. So that is all, Nana. Let's connect tomorrow with the next practicals. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Don't miss the class tomorrow. We have the class tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.